welcome to a new episode of ETRetail Cafe by ETRetail, where we are exploring the lives of various retailers, knowing more about them and to understand them a little more better. So today we have with us Sanjeev Rao, who is the CEO of Being Human Clothing. Many of you don't know that he started his career from the hotel industry and then moved to retail. And one more thing, he is known for picking up the brands from the scratch and is known for turning them around. So let us Sanjeev. Sanjeev, welcome to ETRetail Cafe. A very warm welcome to you. So tell me about yourself. Hotel industry and then you moved to retail industry. What was the idea behind that? Why did you choose the hotel industry first and then the retail industry?
Thank you, Charu. Thanks for this interaction. In fact, I think very few people know this, but I would like to just stress upon the fact that I came up. My family background has been very secured, government official. My dad was a government official. He was a doctor, and we grew up in a very secured environment. And for me, my life has been, I was majorly into sports and specifically badminton. So I represented not only the sub-juniors but the junior nationals, and of course I also played the senior nationals at some point in time in my career. I was so much into sports that I never really looked back to see how my career is moving. But that's one fine morning my dad actually told me that, hey, it's great that you are a badminton player, and these were those days. I'm talking about the early 90s where late 80s and early 90s, where sports didn't have so much money, and specifically the sports of badminton. So I had to take a call, and I decided that, okay, fine, hospitality industry is something which is really coming up in a big way. So let me try my hands at learning and getting into the hospitality industry. That's how I passed out my hotel management, and I was very interested to be a chef and tried to be a chef, failed miserably, not as a chef, but in terms of understanding the nuance of how long it actually takes you to learn the art and craft of the culinary expertise. At that point in time, of course, the industry was also going through a lull, and that's when I made my move out of the hotel industry. And there was only one industry at that time which was recruiting from the hotel industry, which was the retail industry. Because those days, and I'm talking 1996, 97, where there was hardly any workforce of trained retailers. And that's how my journey started. And I started my career as a right from the grounds up with RPG Retail, and I was leading Music World. In fact, the Music World Kolkata Park Street was my baby, and from there I started slowly moving into retail. And here I am. I've worked in music. I have worked in food for a very long time. I've worked in fashion. I have done a whole lot of strategy. I have been parts of team which are super successful as of today. And I believe that it's always a learning process. And when I look back, I really don't know how 30 years flew by. So in fact, in 2024, I presume I'm finishing 30 years, 3 decades of being in this industry. So I would like to say that I was not pushed into retail, and I didn't come from outside as at a later stage in retail. I'm a retailer by choice.
That's nice. 30 years is a very long time, to be very honest. So when you talk about being in the industry for 30 years, you must have seen the retail industry changing in a very big way.
Yeah.
So what are the big changes that you have observed from there to here? How has it changed? And what about the consumer behavior as well? How has the consumer behavior changed?
See, firstly, I would like to say that earlier, people had a lot of time in their hand. When I came into retail, people had a lot of time. They really wanted to go out, shop, eat, watch a movie, And that was a typical outing because there was nothing else. You took one holiday in a year, that also maybe to your relative's house, and there was not much of television other than a few channels. So everything used to revolve around high street shopping, and then came the advent slowly. There came the advent of malls coming in and e-commerce coming in and omni-channel coming in. So people started. So at that point in time, people had too much time and lesser brands. Right now, you have too many brands and lesser time, because if you see today, on an average, at least 3 to 4 hours people are spending on their phone, minimum. So you hardly have time. So discovery is completely happening on your mobile phone or on any gadget that you're using today. So that is the massive shift that has happened in terms of consumer consumption from a physical market led to a very digital led discovery, which happened, and that's, for me, is a huge transformation, because I've seen both the sides. And I think this is here to stay. It's good. People change, systems change, consumptions change, but it's only to grow. I mean, from here there is a growth. And of course, for India, being India, the population of India, I think more than India, I think Bharat is where the growth is happening, because that's where discovery is way higher than what discovery any which ways is in India.
When you have been in the industry for such a long time, you must have faced some challenges which actually reshaped you as a person. So what were those challenges that you faced, and how it helped you grow in your professional career?
See, when you start in an industry which is starting from scratch, you obviously go through every single cycle of how the evolution of retail happens in India. So I also went through mine. It's not that I was born with a sense of retail analytics on day one, and I think that learning, that whole learning from where to teach people what a shopping trolley is, to today, when I get Gen Z and millennial consumers coming and telling me, hey, when are you launching your metaverse, or things like that. So I think the evolution, earlier there was a lot of education which needed for the consumer to accept your brand, a lot of differentiated marketing which was required, whereas today a whole lot of discovery, marketing and understanding of brands is already existing on the digital platform. Consumers are more exposed to the trends that are happening. Earlier, consumers were not exposed. Earlier, people used to see magazines and then go to tailors and say, "Mujhe ye bana ke dijiye." And today, it is basically AI which predicts what you should be wearing for an occasion. So yes, there has been a huge shift in terms of how people shop, and that has been my learning.
Okay. And how these learnings are you implementing them in being human, being a leader over here?
Relatively, we are a pretty young brand. We cater to the Gen Z and Millennial, which is probably, I believe, a very difficult category to handle, because Gen Z and Millennial consumers only believe in relevance of the brand to them, and they believe in the purpose of the brand to them. The day you lose relevance and purpose, they stop buying. So I bring this question up. We all talk about loyalty. So yeah, loyalty to a certain extent is, this brand's denims fit me very well, or this particular brand's shirts are very good fit for me. But if you actually do a deep dive, your loyalty comes because of who you are to your relevant customer. The day you lose that, you're no longer relevant. So at Being Human, what we do is we always try to be relevant to our consumers, and we always try to drive a purpose, and we drive a very strong purpose of love, care, share, hope, help and joy, which is our pillar. We basically call ourselves a conscious fashion brand. Conscious fashion doesn't mean that everything that we do is sustainable. We try to do sustainability wherever it is possible, but a whole lot of initiatives are there to give back to society. And that is how I'm driving the brand. The growth is good. We are seeing some very good traction. The Gen Z and Millennial of India is very different from when I was the Gen Z or Millennial. It's very, very different. They understand everything. They understand what they are buying. They are highly opinionated in terms of what to accept and what to reject. So it becomes even more tougher at that point in time, because I remember my dad taking me to a Bata store saying, okay, you need to buy your shoes only from here. But today when I see my son who's 10 years old, he will first research what is the kind of activity that he needs to go through, and then decide upon the shoes that he wants, and then he'll layer it with which are the brands who are offering him what he wants. That's a 10-year-old. I mean, imagine what a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old would do. So yes, that's exactly what we are doing here, and we are trying to be as relevant as possible.
So like Gen Z and Millennials, you said you are in touch, are catering to basically, and they are very tech savvy these days. So how are you planning to actually engage with them in a very tech savvy manner?
So, the only way, tell me, last time, when did you look up a hoarding and say, wow?
To be honest, being here in Mumbai, I saw yesterday only, I was crossing, I guess, going to Malad, and I saw there was a very nice hoarding where two people were sitting, and it was like a push through like seesaw kind of a thing, and was swinging like that. So that was the only hoarding which caught my attention. Otherwise, no.
How many times do you open the newspaper and see an ad? I'm sorry, you're from Economic Times, but I'm asking you this question.
Advertisements, no.
So with the Gen Z and Millennial, the span of attention is very short. So, and this has been my learning, that today's young consumers are very impatient. They do not have time to waste on things that they do not find interesting. So first of all, you need to be interesting. Second of all, you need to be where they see you. So where do they see you? The discovery that happens is completely on your phone or on your iPad or on your laptop. And that is where the discovery is. So much so that even today SMSs are irrelevant. I mean, I'm sure everybody has got thousands of SMSs which gets automatically deleted. But to a certain extent, WhatsApp is still seen. The same way, we advertise through Instagram. There's a lot of influencers that we use. We talk the language that the Gen Z understands and wants to hear. And that is exactly how we populate the consumption and then sell to them.
So technology is moving at a very fast pace in the retail industry. What if technology replaces your job? What will you do?
Well, technology cannot totally replace your job. Well, it might be true to certain industries, but when it comes to retail, I think it's not possible in the next at least 2-3 decades, because humans as nature, like to have a feeling of understanding what they buy. So roti kapda makan, we all speak about it. आप जितना भी रोटी कपड़ा मकान को digitize कर दो, but still there will be the touch and feel. Yes, convenience can improve, seamlessness can improve. Consumers, click and collect can be there. You can discover it on your mobile, go to a shop and buy it. All of that will be there, but stores will become more experiential, and physical stores would move more towards phygital stores and become last mile delivery center for the omni-channel, retail that we do. Otherwise, I don't think, we are unnecessarily getting scared of technology taking over people's job. It's not going to take over. Yes, certain jobs may kind of get overlapped with certain things. For example, you have chatbots. So maybe, if there's a customer care support which is there, which can move 50% to chatbots. However, everything cannot, my whole supply chain cannot be controlled by, nobody. There has to be somebody, right? My fashion designs can come through predictive analysis and through a whole lot of other tools, which currently we are using as well. But then it cannot relate to you as a person as to what you want. You need some physicality there. So technology is welcome, technology is great, but as far as retail is concerned, I think retail will still definitely need technology to help the seamlessness, but the physicality of retail will definitely be there.
How do you think then retail industry is going to evolve in perspective, in keeping in mind your own brand also? You can tell us about that.
See, you're asking me in terms of technology, how we are going to evolve?
Overall, maybe.
Overall, as we are evolving. See, we have a very simple, very simple, explanation for that. Relevance and purpose. And I've been saying this in every, forum that I'm being invited to. As long as you're relevant to your TG, as long as your TG understands your purpose and connects that purpose to their internal purpose, you will grow. It's as simple as that. We have a very strong purpose. So our purpose, so we operate out of two circles. One is the conscious circle, which I call, and one is the business circle. So when we dovetail both of them is where our actual business model comes from. So when we talk about conscious fashion, I'm not talking about, as I told you earlier, that it's not about, doing everything from a sustainable point of view within the organization, because let's face facts, as of today, there's only so much that you can do from sustainability, but then there are hundreds of other initiatives that you can do. We do a lot of stuff. We send our entire office team to do beach cleaning, which now is going to become a standard. We do denim recycling, where we don't say that, you bring your denim and we give you a discount voucher or something to buy our clothes. No, we take your denim, we convert your denim to, various things like tote bags, handbags, all of that, and give it back to you so that you can use it going forward. The same way, there are many other initiatives which we are doing, which you will come to know very shortly, in terms of ensuring that people who are of a lower income strata, who definitely want fashion but cannot afford it, there's something which is being worked in that angle as well. Yeah.
So Sanjeev, there's this curiosity in my mind. I mean, because there's a very big one. I mean, one of the biggest cons is associated with this brand. So how does it adds value and attracts the consumer that way?
Yes, the family is behind this entire initiative. However, I presume that, although there is definitely a certain pull of the fan base, but more than the fan base, it is about the product that we sell. A fan can come and buy once, twice, thrice, but that fan base maybe contributes to 20% of the business, but 80% of the business comes from, normal consumers. So they basically look at product, price, fits, availability, all of that, and relevance. So I think being human as a brand, the word being human is a very responsible brand name to have. So there's a lot of weight on our shoulders to ensure that everything that we do has to relate to our pillars. As I said, love, care, share, hope, help, enjoy. And from that point of view is what we run the brand, and that's it. Yeah.
When you are already running the brand successfully, where can we see the brand 5 years from now?
This is a wish list, and I'm sure the wish list will definitely come true. We believe that we want to be a made in India brand for the global market. I really don't know, in 5 years, whether we will be in the top 50 or top 20 or top 30. I can't predict it because it's a complete VUCA world out there. COVID hit us, we didn't even know what to do. I don't know what else is going to hit us in the future. I hope not. But yes, but the fact is, if everything is steady state, then definitely, we would be one of a very strong contender of made in India brand, which reaches out globally. And we have started going on that path.
I wish you all the best for the journey ahead. So before we close, I would love to have a rapid fire chat with you where I'll be asking a few questions, and without even giving a second, you have to answer about them. Your favorite business book, and why do you like that book a lot? And what are the learnings that you've picked from there?
Art of Execution. The idea is every strategy is great in a boardroom unless executed.
Best Netflix series?
I haven't been able to see anything in the last 1 year. Trust me, trust me. So I need to pass that. But you know, I mean, I'm really ashamed to say this, but on the other side, I've been so busy that seriously, I've never got the time to go through any of the series. I would like to, but yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the brand that you admire the most, or the retailer that you admire the most, and why?
So there are many retailers, each one having their own USPs, and I wouldn't like to name any one of them because there are plenty in India and abroad from whom you can learn. I mean, Zara, known for their entire supply chain and the way they handle their drops over a particular season. Then there are brands who are extremely focused onto their bottom line, and you know, there are brands who are doing extremely well in terms of acquisition of brands and creating top line, and then getting into the act of, you know, streamlining. So without taking names and being very neutral here, I would say that there is a learning from every single brand that exists today in India.
What not if a retailer?
What not if a retailer? Probably a badminton coach.
Everybody knows that you have been in the retail industry, you have been looking after various categories, in growing them. One thing that people don't know about you.
Well, I'm a singer and composer.
Oh, nice. I'll listen to you after this interview for sure. Thank you, Sanjeev. I mean, it was pleasure talking to you, and we really enjoyed talking to you. And I hope you guys also enjoyed what Sanjeev told us. So we'll be back again next week with a new retailer, a new story. Till then, see you. Bye-bye.